Did you know that millions of wild boars, those ferocious beasts tearing through forests, are being raised on farms in China to feed a hungry world? This isn't just a niche trend, it's a booming industry, churning out hundreds of thousands of tons of meat every year. Welcome to a world where untamed creatures meet modern farming, and the result is a plate of rich red meat unlike anything you've tasted. In China's rural heartlands, farmers have turned wild boars into a gold mine. At places like wild boar farms, these animals are raised in sprawling, free-range setups that mimic their natural habitat. The meat? It's leaner, tastier, and pricier than regular pork, fueling a craze for clean food. But here's the kicker. This industry is hiding secrets that'll make your jaw drop. How do you tame a beast known for its aggression? What does it take to get that meat from farm to fork? And at what cost does this wild feast come? Buckle up as we dive into a story that's equal parts fascinating and unsettling. What's it really like to raise a creature that could charge at you any second? Raising wild boars isn't for the faint-hearted. At wild boar farms, the process starts early. Piglets, just 15 days old, munch on corn and bran, split into 5 small meals to keep their tiny stomachs happy. They roam in open fields, growing strong and healthy, their meat becoming the firm, flavorful stuff foodies rave about. Thanks to high-tech, closed-loop breeding systems, China's pumping out wild boar meat on a scale that's mind-boggling enough to fill supermarkets across the globe. But here's where it gets wild. By 7 months, these boars turn fierce, especially during mating season. Farmers need nerves of steel to handle them, as one wrong move could mean a dangerous charge. Harvesting and transporting these animals is a high-stakes game, requiring skill and caution. And then there's the darker side. 90% of China's farms lack proper waste management, dumping tons of manure into rivers and fields. Add to that the threat of diseases like African swine fever, which wiped out 7 wild boars in Hubei last year. Oh, and wild boars escaping farms, they're wrecking crops, costing farmers millions.
6 of them. These are eating hogs.
Then comes the harvest. Farmers scald the carcasses in hot water to remove bristly hair, gut them with precision, and reveal meat that's deep red and chewy, a gourmet's dream. But the process isn't pretty, and many farms skimp on animal welfare, leaving boars stressed before slaughter. It's a gritty reality behind that juicy steak. How does this booming industry balance profit with the planet's health? China's wild boar farms are a paradox, a lifeline for poor farmers and a culinary win for food lovers. But a ticking time bomb for the environment and animal welfare. This meat powers rural economies, with farmers earning double what they'd make from regular pork. Yet the pollution, disease risks, and ethical concerns beg a big question. Is this sustainable? The future hinges on change. Smarter tech, like waste processing systems, could clean up the mess. Stricter rules could ensure boars are treated humanely. And consumers, you and I can push for meat from farms that care about the planet. Next time you see wild boar on a menu, think about the journey it took. This isn't just food, it's the story of human grit, nature's power, and choices we all make. What will it take to keep wild boars on our plates without breaking the world around us? What if the fiercest beast in Missouri's woods could join forces with the pigs in your grandpa's barn to create pork unlike anything you've tasted? I'm Hank, a 62-year-old farmer from Springfield, Missouri, and I'm here to spill a secret. Wild boars and domestic pigs can breed, and it's changing the game. These razorback hybrids, born from artificial insemination pairing domestic sows with wild boar semen, yield 6 to 10 piglets per litter after 114 days. They're tough, meaty, and carry the soul of America's frontier. In 22, a brutal swine flu swept my farm, wiping out 60% of my herd. But the hybrids, they stood strong, proving their grit. Always pick a wild boar with a broad chest for semen, I tell new farmers. It boosts litter size. The USDA notes hybrid pork fetches $15.00 per pound, powering a $1.2 billion specialty meat market, 2024. Yet it's not just profit, it's heritage. This pork tastes like the smokehouse suppers of my youth. Ever wonder what your ancestors' pork tasted like? Comment below. But crossbreeding sparks debates, ethical, legal, and cultural. Let's explore the fields and processing factories to uncover the truth. Crossbreeding is part science, part the future of processing factories. On my farm, I use artificial insemination with wild boar semen collected via high-tech machines, hitting an 85% success rate, National Pork Board 2024. Natural breeding works, but wild boars are ornery. My steel pens cost $10,000 to build. Check sows for heat twice daily, I advise. Miss the 21-day cycle, and you're out of luck. Ultrasound tech ensures healthy piglets, but setup costs run 15% higher than standard barns. USDA 2023. Transporting hybrid pigs requires specialized equipment and close attention to animal welfare. These pigs are typically moved in climate-controlled trailers with advanced ventilation, water misting systems, and noise insulation to reduce stress during transit. However, because hybrids are more sensitive to heat and motion, long hauls can be challenging. In the 2023 heat wave, I had to add ice packs to the truck's water system, says Jim, a 58-year-old hauler from Joplin, Missouri. It kept the pigs calm and hydrated. Transportation costs can consume up to 12% of total profit, especially when strict animal welfare standards are met. Despite the cost, hybrids offer major benefits. They contain 15% less fat than traditional breeds, Texas A&M 2024, making them ideal for modern processors. Maria, a cutter in Iowa, explains, "With hybrids, we trim closer to the bone and cut waste by 10%. This results in leaner cuts and more efficient production." Challenges loom large. The 2024 Farm Bill's tariffs hiked AI equipment costs, hitting small farmers hard. Culturally, some Missouri locals argue hybrids dilute purebred traditions. Ethically, the Humane Society pushes for roomier pens, citing boar stress. Dr. Ellen Carter, an Iowa State researcher, warns, "A 2023 E. coli outbreak traced to a processing factory showed we need stricter sanitation." What's the hardest farm lesson you've learned? Share below. Despite hurdles, hybrid pork's promise shines through. Hybrid pork is a time machine on a plate. One bite and I'm back in my grandpa's Missouri smokehouse, the air thick with hickory. At $15.00 per pound, it's driving an 8% surge in specialty meat sales, USDA 2024. It's sustainable too. Hybrids need fewer antibiotics, cutting emissions by 10%, EPA. In a St. Louis processing factory, chefs craft razorback hams that wow diners. Marinate hybrids in apple cider for 24 hours, I tell folks. It tenderizes the meat. But it's not all rosy. Big agribusiness, backed by Farm Bill subsidies, overshadows small farmers like me. Ethical concerns persist, and animal welfare groups demand freer-range hybrids. Dr. Carter's pushing for cleaner processing factories, a must after recent health scares. Still, this pork's worth it. A Springfield market customer told me, "This tastes like my dad's farm in '65. What's your favorite pork memory? Drop it in the comments. Hit your local market for hybrid pork. Choose deep red cuts and grill slow at 275 DGF. Let's keep America's farm legacy alive. Like, subscribe, and share your stories. Cue my barn at sunset, pigs grazing, and a drone sweeping over Missouri's hills.
Hello, viewers. Did you know 46 million turkeys flood U.S. farms yearly alongside 10 million pheasants and 100,000 towering ostriches? Shocking, right? What's the secret behind raising and processing these birds for your plate? Stick around. How does your Thanksgiving turkey go from farm to feast? Drop your guesses below before we dive in. The scale of this industry is massive. The National Turkey Federation reports that 46 million turkeys hit the processing factory each Thanksgiving season, a tradition rooted in the 1621 Pilgrim Feast. Pheasants, with 10 million processed annually per USDA stats, feed gourmet markets. While the American Ostrich Association notes 100,000 ostriches roll through the processing factory for meat and leather. These aren't just birds. They're a cultural and economic powerhouse. Where do you think your holiday meal starts its processing factory journey? Raising these birds is step one before the processing factory takes over. In Minnesota, turkey barns house 20,000 birds under strict 75 DGF conditions. It's all automated feed, water, the works, says John Miller, a turkey farmer. Pheasants roam open pens in Texas, prepping for the processing factory. While ostriches need 2 acres each in Oklahoma, adults reach 350 pounds per Texas A&M research. Ever pictured these birds before they hit the processing factory? The processing factory is where the magic in meat happens. At a Butterball turkey processing factory in Arkansas, 10,000 birds zip through daily on conveyor belts. It's a 40 DGF blur of plucking and packaging, says Maria Lopez, a factory worker. Pheasant processing factories, smaller and artisanal, cater to upscale chefs, while ostrich processing factories double as leather hubs. One hide nets $400. Ever peeked inside a processing factory like that? History shapes this processing factory pipeline. Turkeys, domesticated 2,000 years ago by Native Americans, hit the processing factory long before Thanksgiving became official in 1863. Pheasants, imported in the 1,880 S for hunting, now fuel boutique processing factories. Ostriches joined the U.S. processing factory scene in the 1,980 S, offering lean meat 2 grams of fat per 4 ounces versus beef's 15 per USDA data. What's your oldest food memory tied to a processing factory product? Economically, the processing factory drives big bucks. Turkeys generate $103 billion yearly, with 450,000 jobs tied to the processing factory chain, per a 2023 National Turkey Federation report. Pheasants add $500 million via specialty processing factories, while ostrich processing factories rake in $100 million, meat at $20 per pound, eggs at $50 each. An ostrich egg equals 24 chicken eggs, says Dr. Sarah Klein of UC Davis. How much would you shell out for a processing factory gym like that? Socially, these birds and their processing factories bind us. A 2022 Pew survey shows 95% of Americans link Thanksgiving to turkey processing factory output. Pheasant processing factory products signal luxury, while ostrich processing factories spark viral buzz. Think YouTube clips of birds outpacing tractors. Yet turkey processing factories face welfare critiques from groups like PETA. Unlike smaller pheasant and ostrich setups, what's your stance on processing factory ethics? The processing factory journey is a wild ride. Turkeys start in barns, hit the processing factory, and land on your table in under 10 minutes per bird. Pheasants go from pens to processing factories to elite plates, while ostriches yield meat, leather, and eggs in a multi-step processing factory dance.
In Texas, wild boars are a growing threat to farmers. Over 2.6 million of these animals roam the state, destroying crops and causing millions of dollars in damage each year. Introduced in the 16th century, wild boars breed quickly and adapt to any environment, making them tough to control. Their sharp tusks and aggressive nature threaten not just fields but entire communities. Meet John, a Texas farmer who spent years battling these invaders. Standing in his ruined cornfield, he points to trampled stalks and deep hoof prints. "We lost half our crop in one night," he says. "We can't let this continue." In Texas, hunting wild boars requires no license, but it demands skill, legal weapons, and caution to stay safe. John and his team, including experienced hunters and trained dogs, prepare for a major hunt. They've spotted a herd of about 50 giant wild boars near the farm. As the sun sets, John loads his rifle and checks the gear. His team climbs into a truck, heading toward the fields. "Today we're taking on the biggest herd we've ever faced," he says, determined to protect his livelihood. The team moves across open Texas grasslands. The dogs pick up a trail, barking loudly as they lead the group to a herd of wild boars tearing through a cornfield. John spots the lead boar, a 150-pound beast, and signals for silence. He aims his rifle and fires, dropping the boar instantly. The shot scatters the herd, and the boars sprint toward a muddy area near a creek. The muddy terrain slows the team's pursuit. These boars are smart, John says. They use the mud and bushes to hide. The team splits into two groups to surround the herd. Sarah, a skilled hunter, shoots another large boar, but a second one charges her. John fires quickly, saving her and dropping the boar just feet away. Using radios, the team coordinates with the second group, setting traps near the creek to funnel the boars into a tight space. The dogs drive the herd forward, and John lands another clean shot, bringing down a third boar. After a brief rest, the team counts 10 boars down, but knows more are hiding. John reflects on the damage. This isn't just about hunting, he says. We're protecting our families. We've tried fences and traps, but these boars are too clever. The dogs bark again, signaling a larger group in a nearby forest. The team grabs their gear and heads into the dense woods, ready for the final push. In the dark forest, flashlights reveal a massive herd of 30 to 40 boars charging out of the underbrush. The team opens fire, taking down several in a chaotic minute. John spots the largest boar, a 200-pound giant, rushing straight at him. He steadies his aim and fires, dropping it inches away. The dogs circle the fallen boar as the team catches their breath. The team gathers 20 boars and loads them onto the truck. The fields look peaceful again, but John knows the fight isn't over. We stopped them today, but they'll come back, he says. Hunting helps, but we need better fences, traps, and community support for a long-term fix. The film ends with John and his team standing in the field looking at the sunrise.
Curious how hunters and farmers tame these prehistoric beasts? Ever wrestled a gator yourself? Hit that like and subscribe, then dive into this swamp saga with us. What's your guess? How many gators can one hunter snag? Louisiana's alligators have ridden a wild survival roller coaster. In the early 20th century, rampant hunting for their valuable hides, destined for luxury handbags and boots, nearly wiped them out, leaving fewer than 100,000 by the 1950s, per Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, LDWFF, estimates. The 1967 Endangered Species Act threw them a lifeline, triggering a bold recovery plan. Today, their numbers exceed 2 million, a comeback fueled by strict harvest regulations. Unlike Africa's Nile crocodile, still plagued by poaching, Louisiana's approach shines globally. How does a species rebound from the edge? It's all about balance, and Louisiana's nailed it. How does Louisiana harvest 2 million alligators? It's a dual strategy. Every fall, from late August to October, over 2,000 licensed hunters snag 30,000 to 40,000 wild gators. Using chicken-baited hooks hung 18 inches above the swamp, finishing them off with rifles or bows. At the same time, about 60 farms statewide raised nearly 1 million gators from 300,000 wild collected eggs annually. As third-generation farmer Tommy Boudreau near Houma explains, these gators grow in pens to 4 to 6 feet before hitting the processing factory, with the LDWF mandating 5% be released back to the wild for sustainability. Wild or farmed, which sounds tougher to you? Scientific research backs this system's success. A 2019 study from Louisiana State University found that alligator nests average 30 to 50 eggs, with a 70% hatch rate in the wild. Farming boosts that to 90%, maximizing output while protecting wild populations. The LDWF tags harvested over 300,000 in 2023 alone to track numbers and enforce quotas. Compare this to Florida, where only 7,000 wild gators are harvested yearly due to stricter regulations. Louisiana's approach proves that harvesting can coexist with conservation. It's a numbers game, says Dr. Ruth Elsey, an LDWF biologist with 30 years on the gator beat. We've turned a predator into a partner. How do you feel about hunting to save a species? Step into a processing factory and it's a whirlwind of scales and steel. At places like All American Gator and Cutoff, workers skin 500 gators a day during peak season. You've got to move quick. Those hides don't wait, says Marie LeBlanc, a 15-year veteran. The process is precise. Gators are cleaned, skinned, and chilled within hours. Hides head to tanneries while meat's packaged for restaurants or stored. In 2023, the U.S. exported 150,000 pounds of alligator meat. Per USDA data, with Asia snapping up hides for fashion. It's a far cry from small-scale crocodile processing in Australia, where output lags at 20,000 hides yearly. What's the wildest job you've ever seen? Meat, sold at $5 to $10 per pound, lands on plates as fried bites or sausage, a Cajun staple. One 8-footer can bring in $300 between hide and meat, says Joey Guidry, a worker at a Thibodeau processing factory. It's swamp gold. Compare that to beef farming, where a cow might net $1,500, but takes years to raise, gators grow fast and hit hard. The industry employs over 2,000 people directly, from hunters to factory skinners, and supports tourism too. Ever tried gator? History shapes this processing factory pipeline. Turkeys, domesticated 2,000 years ago by Native Americans, hit the processing factory long before Thanksgiving became official in 1863. Pheasants, imported in the 1,880 S for hunting, now fuel boutique processing factories. ostriches joined the U.S. processing factory scene in the 1980s, offering lean meat 2 grams of fat per 4 ounces versus beef's 15 per USDA data. What's your oldest food memory tied to a processing factory product? Economically, the processing factory drives big bucks. Turkeys generate $103 billion yearly, with 450,000 jobs tied to the processing factory chain, per a 2023 National Turkey Federation report. Pheasants add $500 million via specialty processing factories, while ostrich processing factories rake in $100 million meat at $20 per pound, eggs at $50 each. An ostrich egg equals 24 chicken eggs, says Dr. Sarah Klein of UC Davis. How much would you shell out for a processing factory gym like that?
These razorback hybrids, born from artificial insemination pairing domestic sows with wild boar semen, yield 6 to 10 piglets per litter after 114 days. They're tough, meaty, and carry the soul of America's frontier. In 22, a brutal swine flu swept my farm, wiping out 60% of my herd. But the hybrids, they stood strong, proving their grit. Always pick a wild boar with a broad chest for semen, I tell new farmers. It boosts litter size. The USDA notes hybrid pork fetches $15.00 per pound, powering a $1.2 billion specialty meat market, 2024. Yet it's not just profit, it's heritage. This pork tastes like the smokehouse suppers of my youth. Ever wonder what your ancestors' pork tasted like? Comment below. But crossbreeding sparks debates, ethical, legal, and cultural. Let's explore the fields and processing factories to uncover the truth. Crossbreeding is part science, part the future of processing factories. On my farm, I use artificial insemination with wild boar semen collected via high-tech machines, hitting an 85% success rate, National Pork Board 2024. Natural breeding works, but wild boars are ornery. My steel pens cost $10,000 to build. Check sows for heat twice daily, I advise. Miss the 21-day cycle and you're out of luck. Ultrasound tech ensures healthy piglets, but setup costs run 15% higher than standard barns. USDA 2023. Transporting hybrid pigs requires specialized equipment and close attention to animal welfare. These pigs are typically moved in climate-controlled trailers with advanced ventilation, water misting systems, and noise insulation to reduce stress during transit. However, because hybrids are more sensitive to heat and motion, long hauls can be challenging. In the 2023 heat wave, I had to add ice packs to the truck's water system. Says Jim, a 58-year-old hauler from Joplin, Missouri. It kept the pigs calm and hydrated.
AI technologies are gradually developing. What if each processing factor gradually is working? Please share your thoughts below in the comments section of this video. And lastly, don't forget to recommend the channel to your friends so they can watch too. Thank you and goodbye. See you again in the next video.